What's up, Lucky Gamers? It's Lucky Lux, and today we're bringing some more support main, healer main information. We're going to be talking about the stats and pretty much the gear that you guys are going to be looking for when wanting to build a healer, especially when you're looking to in game. So I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on why some of these stats are important and why you want them versus like some others. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Alright guys, so this is going to be honestly fairly a short video because I just want to kind of go over the stats that we're looking for and then just the gear. I'll go over a lot more things in detail, but I'm kind of really just want to go over the stats you want to look for as we're starting to get to the part where we're going to start getting gold gear here the next few days. A lot of you have purple gear unlocked, right? So if you're going to be a support main, couple things, you want to have a really nice HP pool. You do not need to get one shot. That is most important because you don't want your teammates to have to revive you, especially if you're playing with randoms. Their thought's not going to be to revive you because you don't have that communication, right? So you want to make sure that you can keep yourself alive. Also, resistances, you want to keep those up because that lowers the amount of damage that you take, right? And then lastly, I'll say attack, right? Attack is also going to be important because that ups the values of what your skills do. It ups the value of your shield, it ups for 0, and it ups the value of your heals on Cocoa Ritter, Pepper, and Nemesis, right? So, again, looking at these stats, we have, on my account, I'm just, this one's just 23, almost 24,000 CS, but we're at 305,000 HP, right? Pretty okay. HP pool. So right now I believe I can survive a Sobek attack, the one that comes from the bottom. Typically one-shots most people, but I'm able to survive that if I'm at full HP. That's around like 280 or something like that. But I'm able to survive it. So that's when you know that you're pretty good, is like when some of the things that used to one-shot you, if you see yourself kind of able to level past that, get more HP, then you know you're doing a good job, right? For physical attack, I have around basically an average, like around 4,000, right, for everything, which is decent for where we're at in the game. It can be better. I just need to get better gear, level up my CS, some stuff I got to manage. But on all, you want to keep that attack because that helps out. If you didn't know, a lot of your weapons, they scale off of attack, right? So you need to keep your attack high. So S1 on Nemesis, her heal is really huge. And she's able to increase her attack even more, right, with the kit that she has. So she's able to get a really big burst heal with having high attack. Cocoa Ritter, she has a passive heal on her with a healing bee. Yeah, it might be small, but it's something. And then her skills itself, those heal off of attack. And then Zero's shield goes off of attack. So these are some things that you want to consider. You want to make sure that you have a decently high attack. For supports right now, you want to have Flame Attack, Frost Attack, and Volt Attack. Unless you're, like, you don't really need physical unless you're using Shiro for the Grievous passive. But other than that, Flame Attack, Frost Attack, and Volt Attack, those are the only supports that we have for us right now. So, you know, physical attack is something if you're using Shiro, or if you're looking in the future for Lyra. But again, that's way in the future. You'll have plenty of time to possibly, you know, accommodate for that. And then resistances. Resistances are going to be really important because those lower the amount of damage that we take from bosses, from high tier enemies, right? So for instance, on the lower end, I reduce the damage I take from Volt by 28%. And on the high end here, where it's 800 difference, I resist it by 36%. So with that 800 point difference, it's also 8%, right? And I'm not saying that's true every time, but it just seems how it is. So yeah, so I have the extra 36% resistant damage that I take from Frost, which does help because there are some pretty strong Frost enemies, right? And there's always physical enemies and not too many flame ones, but either way, you want to have these resistances high. That way you just can reduce the one shot like that comes from bosses, right? And these stats, right, the best way that you can get them is honestly going to be from the gear. Everyone should have this unlocked by now. If you've been playing the game, you get gear from several different activities, as it will tell you. You get them from Joint Operations, Crystal Dust Store, Level 3 Crew Store, You can get them from Password Chest after level 45, which is pretty awesome. And then Frontier Clash, right? So these are all the places you can get the gear. Several different gears that you can get. Right now, we're looking for purple gear until we hit level 50. Once you hit level 50, that's when you can start going for gold gear, right? But for right now, purple gear is the highest that we can get. The different qualities basically give you higher base stats. This is something that's been true for most gacha games, RPG games, MMO games. Higher the quality, better the gear piece, right? So, with that, you do want to make sure that you're shooting for the highest gear piece quality, because that's where you get the best stats, right? So, for instance, we'll just look at this piece right here. They give their own CS score, but base stats is going to be attack and HP, which for a support we talked about being one of the better ones. Enhancements unlocked, HP and resistance, and then the random stats is HP, volt attack, and flame attack. So this is a really good piece for us. If blue gear was the highest that we have, this would probably be a top tier piece for me, right? But we have purple. So this purple piece has a higher value, has attack and HP. Really nice values on that. Enhancements unlocked, attack, and HP, which is really good. And random stats is volt attack, frost resistance, flame resistance, and HP. Volt attack is really good because Nemesis is my strongest character and has my biggest burst heal. So volt attack is really important for me. Frost and flame resistance, just good resistances to have, and then HP, right, which is another amazing stat to have. So this is basically a good piece, and I can take this until I get a gold piece, right? So again, how we get better stats also is by leveling up these pieces. A lot of you guys know that when you level up the pieces, it levels up the base stat itself. That's what enhancement does. If you're wanting to increase the substats, that's what you use advancement for. And advancement will use other pieces that are of the same type of gear and give you an extra star rating. And it's basically where you roll. That's where you do the substat rolls. So for instance, as well, if you're looking at this blue piece, it only has 3 substats. This purple has 4 substats. And then we're rolling, and we're wanting to get the best roll for that piece. Let me see if I have gear piece that's... I can do a roll in. Here we go. So we do this. We're going to roll, and it rolled into HP, which is not bad. It literally gave me 7,000 more HP, which is honestly pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting that, but I just got 7,000 more HP just from that one roll. So you can imagine how high the value is going to be on a gold piece of gear. This is where people are going to start hitting kind of ridiculous attack numbers, HP numbers, to where is why I was stressing that your heal amounts need to be really good, because HP is going to start to get crazy, right? So just to make sure that you can stay up in the game, you want to make sure that you're starting to think about the gear and the stats that you're looking for on your gear pieces. See this piece here, we can go ahead and roll into this. Oh, also, it knows if you don't have a weapon for that stat, and it'll say an ineffective stat. That means this stat is doing nothing for us. So until I equip a physical character, this physical attack doesn't do anything for me. But we're going to roll this. And we did another roll into HP. So we just increased our HP by 14,000 just like that, just from the first star, which is pretty crazy, right? This piece here, it's telling me that I have Volt Attack and Flame Attack. It shows me the weapon that it's in effect for. So if I were to roll for this piece here, I rolled into HP again. So again, that's where your subset rolls. But it's not the worst if I roll into HP because I am a support. Yes, I do want Volt Attack. Yes, I do want Flame Attack. And, I want those to be rolled into because HP is just really easy to get for a support. But it's not the worst, right? If I roll into Resistance, if I roll into HP, one of those, it's not the worst because we're not DPSs. We want to have a good average amount of attack, but we're not DPSs. So that's something to consider, though, as well, being a, support main. You don't have to really worry so much right now about min-maxing. As long as you can keep your team alive and keep yourself alive, then you're really good. So you can see my CS got boosted over 24,000 from just 2 star up, and then I'm up at 321,000 HP. So we're actually sitting pretty good right now. But that's pretty much all I have, honestly, for the stats. Again, I just want you guys to take from this video, look at HP, resistance, and then physical attack. I would probably put HP and physical resistance at the height, like the topmost priority, and then attack at the bottom, because you'll get attack as you level up. We heal right now. If you're at the top level of healing, we heal right now more than what's needed. So we need to have high HP, flame resistance for when that content gets harder. And then, we'll start having content where we really need to heal, but our attack will increase just naturally over time, right? And again, I'll go over more information like of what abilities to use, what team formations and everything like that. But as we're just getting close to about to have gold gear, I really want you guys to just start looking at the gear you have and start min-maxing best you can when that happens, because it's going to be a few days now for that unlocks. But if you guys have any questions or anything for me, please drop in the comment section. You guys ask wonderful and amazing questions, honestly. And I love debating with you guys. I love talking to you. Like, even if we get into arguments, guys, like, as long as you come at it with respect, like, I'll come at you with respect as well, and we can always talk about it. Just remember, like, some messages come across a little extra, so I'll come a little extra with it. But like, it's all fun for debate. If you love to debate, we can talk about it, honestly, because all in all, we're all just trying to like just increase our effectiveness in this game. So if we're all about that, then I'm down for it. If you guys want to talk to me more often, then I do have my Discord, which is down in the description. Also, you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv LuckyLuxGaming. I just hit over 500 follows, so I do thank all of you for that. That was amazing. And I am almost at 2K subscribers on YouTube, which I thank all of you for that as well. But all in all, I love you guys. I appreciate the support so much, so much. I've grown my channel literally in this last week, like bigger than I have in a long time. So I appreciate all of it. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Lux out.